everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with another edition of Mixed Media Frenzy. And today we start, instead of focusing on a product, we focus on a sketch. So this is our sketch that all of us will be working from this week. And I love it. You all know that I love smooshes and stenciling and just mixed media with a fairly simple collection of papers. So just to describe to you my process, I'm going to use this Mixed Media White Foundations paper by Vicki Boutin. I've already cut this one, pulled this one out of the stack. It's got a little spot there, so I'll use the other side. And I'll put this aside. The first thing that I'm going to do are the smooshes, and I'm going to be fairly subtle. I'm using this photo, which has lots of green in it. As you can see, I've used a green Paige Evans, not Horizon, but Truly Grateful paper back there. I've edited it really to improve the detail. It was a very poor quality, old phone photo of Barrett playing basketball on the back deck. And I ran it through an editor, a filter in my favorite photo editing program called Prisma. And it kind of brought out the details in the leaves back in the background, and it added some kind of purplish colors, and it just brought out the details of his shirt and the decking, the wood grains, and I just love it. And so I'm really happy to kind of encourage and provide a backdrop of these kind of purplish colors, and then use greens, lots of those dark leafy greens. So let me and dark leafy green sounds like a good lunch. Let me put that aside. I'm going to do my smooshing. Not going to be real sophisticated here. I'm using Distress Oxide, Victorian Velvet, and Milled Lavender. And I'm going to just spread them on my craft sheet here and spray with water. Where's my sprayer? Here it is. Okay, and I'll allow for some mixing that water spray and then soaking it up on the paper. I kind of want it all sort of in that kind of center area, but doing it like this, I'm not going to have a whole lot of control. Okay, so I've got it kind of a little bit over from where I might like it. So let me do a little more right in here. And that brings it kind of all the way down here, and I can somewhat blot this up with my baby white. Let me clean my craft mat before rolling it up and putting it aside. I'm going to lay this down. I'm not sure what I have right here. That's a bit of something black. I was spraying some black ink around a little while ago, so I may have picked it up from there. So maybe that'll tell me where I put my picture or my other. I think I'm going to do it this way, use it this way. It'll have a little bit different relation to the to the photo from the original, but that's not going to bother me a whole lot. The photo is going to go in like this, and that's actually going to cover that black spot. And then I'm going to have it may not actually, because I was planning to bring it down. Maybe it tells me I'll bring it up. I was going to have a cluster up here that consisted of this kind of, it's going to be my title cluster actually. This is a basketball textured piece of paper, and I like this. It's a speech bubble, and I've made a banner that's going to go in it, and I'm going to use this word breakaway as my title. And so we'll go here. I'm also going to use, this is from a photo play collection called Wild Love, and there's this thing that says Hello Wild One, and I want to use that over close to the photo. And I have some puffy stickers that include some basketballs that will kind of add that orange color there. I've got some stars and some of the number 1, so I'm planning to maybe use those. The first thing I'm going to do right now is put this all-star, again, let me put this off to dry a little bit while I play with the photo cluster. I'm going to put this here, and I want it to kind of overlap there. So I'm putting these pop dots to raise it up. I have actually put a layer of foam behind the photo to raise it up so that I can tuck embellishments around if I wish to do so. Okay, that's there. There is in the original, there's this little thing here which I'm kind of taking to, could have been it could have been washi tape, and I'm going to have it overlap. Let's see, do I want it on the photo? I may do that. And then it kind of hangs off a little bit. So let me put a tiny pop dot up under that. And then when I attach it to the background, which appears to be drying nicely, and because it's that wonderful Vicki Boutin paper, it's not buckling up too much. There, you can't avoid it 100%, but it's also very good. The paper's very good about unbuckling once things are dry. So it kind of, it's like memory foam. Okay, so I like that. I'm gonna do this Hello Wild One, and it's a sticker, and I might, in some cases, go over the sticker with chalk or powder to remove the stickiness, but I'm actually, in this case, going to use enough tape on the back of it that I don't feel the need to do that. Now, I will tell you that my piece of foam underneath the photo doesn't seem to be supporting it. And that happens to me sometimes. I have a scrap that I think is in a size that's going to work. So what I'm going to do is cut some thin bits of this tape, and I'm going to stick this under here, and I'm not going to take the sticky part off because that'll still support it. I'll do the same thing here. Okay, that seems to work. So this is glossy paper, and glossy. I never use glossy paper for this reason. Well, for many reasons. One, it's kind of shiny, and it doesn't photograph as well when you're photographing a layout. But it's kind of all I have left at the moment. So it also curls a little bit more. So if you've not got the foam all the way out to the edges, it'll curl. And I just had to return a rug that did the same thing. Okay, let's go to the paper now. This is gonna go here, just so that it covers up that black. What I want is kind of right in this area and right up here to have some of the green, the dark green, through a dotty stencil. So I don't usually go to this much trouble to measure this, but I think I'm going to do this so that it kind of comes down. This will help me place that. Oops. And I know it's only the bottom part. I'm using this, let me go back again and put my photo in place. There's my black ink spot, it's there. So yeah, that's gonna work. This is Viva Decor Structure Paste, and it's in a green gold. It's a really dark, beautiful green with some gold flecks in it. And I think it's gonna go really nicely. It's a nice contrast to the kind of purpley mauve colors that I've done in Distress Oxides. And I think it's a good match for the greens that are in the... Okay, so that's done there. I'm going to take the same stencil but turn it on its side. And I've made a little bit of a mess, as you could see there. But I think once the stenciling is done, that those little bits of structure paste that were on the other side of the stencil are not going to be a problem. I guess I should move my arm out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. It's nothing exotic or different about this. Just scraping paste through the stencil. Okay, there we go, and I need to clean off my mat right away. Should have had my mat on there. This is a brand new cutting mat that I got because all of my mixed media mess on my older one. Let me aside there. Okay, so that's drying. I've kind of worked on this photo cluster about as far as I think I'm going to go. I've got these little things and some sequins. I've got this Deck the Halls Spiegelbaum Scraps mix that has these gold stars in it and these kind of coral colored sequins. So I may use those as contrast in there, as an accent color. And if I just want to go with the kind of complement the colors, this mix that I got at Tuesday morning actually has really bright green, and there's the occasional purple. So that might be a good source. And let's work on this cluster. I kind of like Okay. That's kind of where it's going to go. So some of those dots will get covered up. So I think I'm going to go ahead and glue this is from a Project Life kit, and this is what it looks like. I'm actually kind of inserting this, and I'm going to put a little glue on the edge of that and on the edge of this, and that should pull that down. Now the title that I want to use is another piece from that Project Life set of cards, sports related cards. I think it's actually a football themed pack from a while back. Okay, I've got that. And now I thought, here's where I may add in some of these sequins. I think I will not do sequins on the background paper at all. I'll do them on the clusters, and they'll actually be part of the cluster. So I'll do that star there, and this kind of coral colored sequin kind of over here, maybe hanging off the banner there a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and go with this turquoise color, or teal color that's in there. I might do it up here again, kind of hanging off. And I don't want to overdo sequins on a boy page, but the colors work and the star theme works, and that kind of fixes that up for me. So I'm going to put that a little bit aside, and then I'll go add some sequins to this cluster. I will put the star here near the little tab that says All-Star. So that seems appropriate there. I will take this coral colored sequin and maybe add it here onto the Hello Wild One sticker that I put on. That'll kind of draw your eye to that. And then the teal one, I'll probably, let's see. I hate to just do a really predictable triangle, but I may end up putting this one actually on the photo. I don't necessarily like doing that usually, but in this case it might be appropriate. So far I haven't necessarily seen places to put these, although in the original there's this heart down here in this corner, and there's certainly room here. So I think I'm going to do one of these puffy basketballs, and then maybe I'll do this number one kind of off to the side at an angle like that. And then one of these stars, let's see, do I go with the blue, the orange, or the red? I'm going to go with the red and maybe put that on a pop dot to make another cluster, a cluster of three things kind of down in this area. Let me stuck that under the puffy sticker, but I want to add a little liquid glue to be sure I'm holding it down. Okay, that looks good. Now, let me pull this back and get this on here. I think I'm going to do another bit of foam. I think I'll go this long way. This is on the back of cardstock, which is foam on it. Let me put I just put some things on that cluster, so I don't really want to run my adhesive over it. So I'm going to do that. And I've got that foam there. Let me get the adhesive here, and I may go reinforce that with some liquid adhesive at some point. Maybe leave a little bit of a border there and kind of press that down. I'm going to press it down with foam because I have the wet glue underneath that that sequin, and it is not dry yet. So, okay, and now we'll put this guy here. You know what? I don't like it. I'm going to cut part of it off so that it kind of hangs over. Let me do this. Okay. So that way it won't be, the banner won't be touching there. And I'm going to put it up as high as I can. I'll put some liquid glue on this kind of orphan part here and all along the sides so that that's adhered well. If it was whole, I was maybe going to do raise it up on foam, but since we have this kind of orphaned piece here, it needs to stick down. So let me come back over here and do this way. Get that orphan piece so that it sticks onto some of that texture paste. And I've got liquid glue all along here, which with a little bit of pressure will stick. I've squeezed some glue out there, and now I've moved the whole thing. So what not to do. Okay, I'm going to, in the interest of time, kind of curl this up. I'm going to call this finished because Breakaway is my title. I will, off camera, fix the adhesive here. It's having trouble sticking to the texture paste. But this is my finished layout. I kind of like the smirches of the mauve-ish colors, and I think it goes really nicely with the green. And here's the original, and there's my reproduction. So get out there and create a frenzy with your mixed media. Get messy and have fun.